What's the name of this pod? Nobody knows. We are live?
Mm-hmm.
No, he was just asking.
Oh.
He didn't realize that's
Oh,
the name
yes.
of the show.
Nailed it.
Good morning and welcome. It's We Are Live. What's up, everybody? It's Friday. We're excited to be here. We got Make It Racist on tap, Travis Terrell, Chris Denman, and the Stream Queen, Chris Gardner. Just a three-man show today. Usually we have comics come in, or we have that guy from the zoo. He always brings those wacky animals in. I love those segments.
Jack Hanna. I can't believe we were able to get
No,
him.
St. Louis would be Whack Hannah. It'd be something weird. Be like, dude, that's a field mouse you found on the way here.
I've done an interview with Jack Hanna before.
The real Jack Hanna?
Yeah.
Did he bring a hawk in and it
No,
attacked
it was
your hair?
over the phone.
Yeah.
Did you hear the hawk on the phone at least?
No.
Phone hawk.
Yeah.
That's not one. I don't think that's been released
By
yet.
the way.
That would have been a great question if I only would have known back then. Mr. Jack Hanna, why do hawks make people late for work?
If I don't even know he knows that answer.
Yeah, maybe
They're a
it's.
unique species.
We still don't know. Maybe that would have been his answer.
We don't. There's certain mysteries about wildlife that society
Let's
will
let's
never
muse
know.
on him a bit.
Yeah.
I just think sometimes we,
Interesting.
we
What's
just,
your number one wildlife issue that plagues you?
I don't
Number one. You don't even, tell you what,
biggest
give me-
issue?
you don't even have to give me the top 10. Just give me one.
Animals don't clean up after themselves.
Fair point.
They
And we will never know why.
We won't.
Has
Look,
nothing to do with their nature or
Because-
what we expect.
Well, I mean, look, if we have an expectation to clean up after ourselves, and we should, it's the
We're
polite
animals.
thing to do, and we are.
Yeah.
You would think that a beluga whale can be
Oh.
like, hey, can you pick up that potato chip bag you just ate?
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
I was thinking
hey,
more-
them dishes ain't gonna clean themselves.
No.
I was thinking like a beluga whale, more like the 70 gallons of waste they probably explode out of themselves on
That
a
too.
couple time daily
Hey,
basis.
hey, wipe after you finish. That's tacky. Think about that, beluga whale. Hawks, hey, you up in the air.
But the beluga whale isn't like a natural bidet, really. Swimming in the water.
Needed to be said.
Well, I can say the same thing about when I release gas.
Can you?
On the show.
Well, I was only one. It was twice. I did it twice.
I bet there's been more times that we're not aware.
Yeah, I'm sure.
There were several times in New York. You guys had no idea. Several times. Boy, oh boy.
Was Tommy on the show at the time?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Oh,
He didn't
escaped
even pick
his
up on it.
We rely on him.
hawk-like watch.
Well, you guys told on yourselves. You guys showed me what you were looking for, as far as to determine whether or not Travis passed.
So we
gas.
messed up.
Yes.
So usually
you showed your hand.
Walmart lets you steal the toy car.
Mm-hmm.
You start working your way into the electronics,
Yes.
and maybe you snag some clothing on the way out. They'll hit you at the door.
I know your protocol now.
They're not going to hit you after you grab,
No.
the first.
First of
small
all, they
item.
can't chase you. Everybody, let that be known that they cannot chase you. So
Don't-
you can
then
steal.
we're not turning this
I'm
into
not
a
saying go
how-to.
steal, but I'm just saying if you are considering stealing something,
Uh-huh.
they cannot chase you.
Some will, I assume.
It ain't worth that $7.25.
That's what they told us at Kids Gap Baby Gap when I worked there.
Okay.
Wait.
What? We never heard this.
No,
Why?
we have not.
I'm pretty
we
sure I
have
have.
not.
No.
We
Yes,
have
I
not.
have.
It's
No.
crazy how we do this podcast
I've
so
mentioned
often
this a
that we
number
had
of
two
times.
stories in the last 2 days. One about Make-A-Wish Tommy, and now apparently about Baby Gap Gardner.
Right.
Kids
Go
Gap
on.
Baby Gap. I worked at Kids Gap Baby
in the
Gap
in
for
the
a period
back,
of time.
right?
So-
I
yeah,
mean, they wouldn't.
stop.
They
So,
wouldn't.
like,
Okay, all right.
you were like
okay,
children?
the world's right again. I
Oh,
was like,
in the
you
back,
ain't-
like you came out in the front from time to time.
I had
Though.
to put some clothes out.
Oh,
and
okay.
that.
And what were the reactions?
well,
to
they
the-
would
from the
chase him
children?
back with a broom.
Yeah,
Get,
like-
get.
Uh-huh.
Get.
Kind of.
Okay.
They would ask me if I needed to go on a smoke break to not come through the store, but go through the halls.
Oh.
Kind of the bowels of the
The
Galleria.
bow.
It was at the Galleria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh.
worked at the Galleria.
What year was this?
I saw this documentary on Netflix. All these Russians had built this base in a mall in the 80s. and
Wait a minute, that's not Doc.
These kids
It's kind of science
saved the day.
Early 2000s.
No.
It was after I worked at. It was my second job.
We may have worked at the
Malls
mall.
were still rocking.
We may have worked at the
Yeah.
mall then at the same time, my friend.
Yeah, because it
I
was,
was in
right
high school.
after I worked at Lake Forest Country Club. But I had moved
Did you
away.
leave there in a disgraced?
So I had moved away.
Oh no. Oh no.
You're gonna give me your
Oh,
employment
no.
history here.
I resigned.
What?
You don't resign from an
I'm
hourly.
about to say what? What was the reason?
I was asked to resign.
Was there something that triggered said resignation?
Yeah.
And that was?
We don't have to get into that.
Oh, was it? Did it
I
involve?
mean, you brought it up. To be fair,
Did you get up? Did you get upset? Were you angry
was there
about
poor
something one day?
reaction? Was there alcohol involved?
No.
Okay, that's a good start.
Touching?
No.
Were you upset about
It's-
something? Were you frustrated at something? Was
Frustrated.
something bothering you that day or week? What happened? Express yourself. What year was
Yeah,
it?
boys will be boys.
Oh dear God, that's not something
you
you want
pee
to
in
hear.
something?
Well, that's not what you want to hear when
No.
someone says they work at a Kids Gap.
No.
Boys will be
This
boys.
was before that.
No, this is like.
Then I went to the Kids Gap, Baby Gap,
Okay.
and then I got fired from there at one point
Oh, sweet Jesus.
because I showed up 3 hours late because I was playing basketball. I didn't really want that job.
I didn't
Yeah,
think
I
you
can't-
did.
Can't imagine.
I didn't think you did. It's amazing the jobs that we have,
Yeah.
that we take on at a young
Did
age.
anyone in those malls do a better job of getting people to work for them than the Abercrombies and Hollisters? Like they set a tone that you were cool if you worked there, but we're gonna pay you like minimum wage though.
And you like walked in and that music right away.
You didn't need much though working there because you were young, good-looking, and you had an 8-pack. So I think they understood that. Hey, I know why I'm here. I understand why I'm here. I'm not here to really sell clothes. I'm here to look good.
To get your Vicodin hooked mom off your back.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So
I'm
Kids
just
Gap, Baby Gap,
thinking.
the golf course. So Kids Gap, Baby Gap, you got fired for being late.
Can
Yeah.
you name the jobs you've been fired from?
Well,
Well, I mean, what are we calling firing? You know.
I mean, well, they had to
Yeah.
say, "Yo,
define
Chris,"
firing.
where they came to you first and suggested maybe parting ways.
Well, plenty of jobs.
Okay. Wait, what?
Well, in radio, I mean,
Are those firings?
Those don't
No, they-
count.
like-
Firing. The radio jobs. don't
Radio is
count.
like,
Yeah,
this is what happens.
Somebody will roll out of bed one morning and they'll decide
Right.
to completely switch up an
Yeah.
entire station. So that doesn't count.
okay, that's why I didn't know what exactly you want to
Yeah.
classify.
No,
as.
yeah. St. Louis radio especially does not count as far as firing.
Right,
No,
it's-
Because
it's
I
radio
did
in
leave.
general,
I
but
did
yeah.
leave jobs. Like I
Yeah.
left KMOX
Yeah.
on my
for,
own for Metro Networks, a broadcast wire service. So I was like, well,
Cash Evans.
I think, yeah, guess where Cash Evans was born. So I left KMOX on my own just because I
Not-
thought my time had run its course there and I
not-
had an opportunity.
so what are non-radio terminations?
Let's just say leaving in a cloud of disgrace firings.
I'm trying to think if I had anything
A
else.
cloud of controversy, even.
Well, Lake Forest
Mm-hmm.
Country Club, Kids Gap, Baby Gap.
Mm-hmm.
I've done other side jobs, but I've never really got fired from those. Like
Okay.
I was putting together like displays and hair salons.
Oh.
Man, they paid well for those.
I don't.
I would borrow my brother's truck and go pick them up down on the docks down on Broadway. Get like 5 displays, put them in the truck, and then I'd take them and put them together. They would take like 20 to 30 minutes to put together, but you got paid like $100 for each one.
Look at it.
Oh,
just
wow.
rolling
It'd be
with
like
it, though.
5 hours of work, and you'd have
make
I'd have
500 bucks?
500 bucks. It was that's a nice side job.
Hell yeah.
Side
um,
job.
Mhm.
Think I'm gonna get into that full time.
No, yeah, I don't know if the
Are
what
the
was
docks
it?
still open?
Moroccan oil displays. That's what they were.
Really?
Yeah, I did that in between some other jobs.
I'm gonna go around to the docks. First of all, we got docks.
Dock Coast Media.
We got
It's gonna be our new
docks.
thing.
I like how the way you said it too. It was like, oh, just head on down to the docks.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's accurate, but
Just went to somebody's alley in
the
Normandy.
industrial area on the riverfront. But
I was
you
on
just-
Hall Street. It was like a bunch of boxes that fell out of a truck. I just picked it up and threw it in
There's
the
water
back.
nearby. I'm calling it the dock because it sounds cool.
That does sound cool.
I think he was just at that bar called the Dock.
I like that.
So wait, so was the golf course your first job?
Yeah,
And how long were you there?
several years.
That's good.
Yeah,
There you go.
Until
yeah.
You got. Was that alcohol based?
No,
no.
Okay. That's again not
Are
bad.
there legal ramifications?
I'm not going to get into it.
Oh,
Oh,
sweet
man.
mercy. Can we say this is where maybe?
There are no legal ramifications. I'll go that far.
Okay. I'm about to say this wasn't the origin story behind your dream team. Was
No,
this where
no,
the
no.
dream team began to form?
No lawyers were needed.
No lawyers were needed.
No.
Nothing alcohol related.
No.
Just a forced resignation.
Yeah.
Was it anything Me Too sexual?
I don't
No.
Gardner's not really.
I don't. Well, we got to. Maybe it was maybe it was an animal
Yeah, that's true.
that filed a complaint. I don't know.
Raccoon's looking good after a couple drinks.
Yeah,
Was it?
I can't figure out.
Did you call somebody? Did you call someone a son of a bitch?
No.
Okay.
I didn't.
Were
Really,
you-
No, I
You
never
said the
called
N-word.
people names there. If like a member
Actually,
upset
he'd get
me,
he'd-
I would
at
just
a golf
scratch
course.
their clubs on the concrete in the back room.
Did you sleep with any other wives?
No.
If you say the N-word at a golf course and where Gardner was working, you actually get promoted.
I would say you say the N-word at a golf course, a caddy gets its wings. I think that's how it works.
I dropped. Whose putter did I drop there accidentally? Chris Pronger.
On purpose or accident?
No, accidentally. And I was like, oh shit.
Did he freak out? I don't even know what that means.
No,
what
I
happened?
didn't tell him.
No,
What happens
you
when you
don't
drop
I
a
know.
just
putter? What
cleaned
does
it
that
real
mean?
good. Tried to make sure
What
I
does that
covered
mean
it.
when you
What?
drop a putter? Just dropped it?
That's a gay sex term.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a golf club.
Damn.
It's a golf club,
Oh.
and it scratched a little. So I was like,
Oh, yeah, those things are expensive.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
why.
would be upset by that.
Yeah, I didn't tell him.
I
So
want
that
to
wasn't
know.
it.
I
Were
want to
you
know how many.
stealing?
No. No, I mean we took stuff.
Okay.
Did you guys?
I mean, we
were,
had-
Were
we
you
had
part of
a-
the cart staff?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
There
cart
are-
staff
look,
work
there
means
are
you're
hi-
gonna get
there are-
bags of beer each week.
Yes,
From
well,
drunk bastards leaving
every
them out.
night.
Yeah.
There were hijinks, but at the golf course.
I too worked at a golf course, and I will second hijinks galore.
The hijinks became an issue,
Hmm.
and I left. I mean, it was.
Boy,
it was
I have
fine.
never seen
Yeah.
him so buttoned up.
Me
I will
neither.
say
Me
this.
neither. He's very.
It was
this
fine
is
enough
very
that it
interesting.
did not preclude my younger brother from getting a job there later.
Okay.
Kind of a legacy family in terms
Your
of
your
the
little brother
background.
worked there too.
Yeah.
My little brother did the same thing.
I had a number of friends where they worked there with me, and then like their siblings would work there too. It was kind of a. We have some legacies there in terms
Okay.
of the bag room.
Okay.
We had a like a
Okay,
club
you say
head
it wasn't.
cover, like if you know, like a pet one. Say you have a pet head.
You
head
said
cover.
okay. You're saying it wasn't legal, which I believe you. However, maybe I'm not being specific. I'm wondering whether or not.
No, you're being specific. I'm not being specific.
Okay, because I'm curious because because you say legal in the sense that not in the sense that you were caught, but could one construe your behavior as potentially illegal? Did the hijinks borderline on what some would consider criminal activity?
Let me tell you something. I worked at a golf course. I didn't even drink at the time, and 1,000,000% there could have been 10 people getting arrested at any time.
The answer is yes.
Okay, there we go. That's all. Because it's not a matter of whether someone charged you. It's a matter of whether or not you were caught, at least with enough evidence to be charged.
Were you ever-
It involved a prank.
Mm-hmm.
A lot
There
of
we
prank-
go.
A lot of pranks on the course.
There
'cause
we
you have
go.
so
Okay,
many-
we're getting
You have
close
so
to
many
this.
15 to 20-year-old dudes working, and then it's all men, not all, 95% men on the course. So even the people that are there paying for stuff are talking, telling you stupid, disgusting jokes, engaging in a little alcohol.
Oh yeah. I
and-
mean, look, I was making.
Sounds like Brett Kavanaugh's playground.
At times, I was.
Oh, are you?
I would have to go into not the kitchen, but like just the whatever, the stopover, the 19th hole or whatever.
Right.
Like at
Oh.
5:45 in the morning, because members would be there already demanding a screwdriver, and no one else was there.
and
And
15-year-old
so I would
Chris
have to
had
go
do it?
in. All right, here's some vodka and orange juice.
That's
There you
where
go.
that's where I learned if you run your thumb across your head, if there's too much head on the beer, it'll take the head down.
Oh.
A gentleman showed me that. I'm like, I'm 15, thanks.
I mean, I was in good enough there that like I could house sit for members.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a gentleman who lived right on the course, and he had a nice game room in his basement, and I would house sit every once in a while. And
Question.
I was allowed to have people over and stuff like that.
I got a question for you. Did you ever walk into the 19th hole when you were working in the pro shop I don't think I was supposed to be there. Sorry, hypothetically.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever walk in and there were two strippers going down on each other with the general manager and other workers doing cocaine in the room?
No.
Okay. Didn't. That's totally hypothetical.
Why'd you sniff like that?
I've never done that.
You sound like Jeff Fisher or Quinn Snyder.
In the 19th hole.
You ever worked at a golf course, Travis?
We had to stock up on Stag and Bush when the Elks tournament was going on. Otherwise, they were very angry and insulted that we didn't carry it. The Black Sheep worked the same golf course I worked at one point.
Oh, you should have seen the club or the employee outing every year. That
See,
was
this-
something.
See, but this is the shit
Actually,
I'm talking
that-
about.
to
There
this
should have
day-
been police at that.
Thank you.
To
Okay, so let's
to
back
this
up.
day.
Let's back up. But see, let's back it up. See, this is where you guys have to acknowledge the land of privilege in which you
There's
live.
no privilege. The cops were there.
There's
Wait, what?
yeah.
Well,
Travis,
Oh,
of
no, the
course
police-
there's privilege. We were working at country clubs.
The police were there
oh.
participating.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not saying no.
Different
That's not about. We
You-
were at country clubs. These are.
Hey,
I
this
was
is where you got to
I was at
change
a
names.
Semi-private course. It
Well,
was 4.5
okay.
stars
What
in
to say.
Golf Digest.
Great.
Of course, I recognize
Hope
that.
Doyle Murphy
Wait,
does a
I'm
story
sorry.
on your
Did
ass
you-
now. I
I'm
hope Doyle
s-
goes deep into this.
At your
and finds
first
out.
job, the maintenance crew didn't cut a specific secret path into the high corn around one of the holes to take naps. That's
What?
you didn't have intricate time theft happening.
Jesus.
You didn't take golf carts and try to jump over sand traps with them going downhill.
What? What?
You didn't wreck
And then accidentally flip one
$2,000
over?
cards.
See how lucky black kids didn't know about working at golf courses. Because this is what y'all was doing?
If you want privilege, you go to a country club. You go to-
Jesus
oh man.
Christ.
We had a real attitude.
But you do like some of the pranks got out of hand.
Apparently.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't
Well,
even
leaving
pranks.
dead
It was-
squirrels and carts and.
Oh, yeah. My favorite thing ever.
Look, that cart girl was a bitch, okay? And I didn't even do it, but I laughed when I heard the scream.
Oh, now we're getting
Now
to the
think
bottom of this.
Think about it this way. I think about this now. I remember whenever the hot girls would be the beer cart girls, there were for sure like 16-year-old girls running that beer cart at times, right?
Yes.
I swear. And I
Hold
remember,
on, man.
yeah.
Before we go any further, it's getting to the point where I know we're touching on legal boundaries.
No,
We
but
told
we're
you-
talking
Statute
about
of
limitations.
That's what we're saying.
For the
This is
statute of limitations. Listen to one Mark Garriga's podcast.
Statutory limitations.
It's a statute. It's a statute of limitations.
No, looking back, now it's easy to hype those.
you're gonna name someone limitations and then have a statue made of them just for this now.
Statute of
It's a
limitations.
statue of limitations.
Now, when it really gets nasty is whenever like people are cheating and their significant others show up.
Okay, I
and
don't
they're
want to be a
using
part
the-
of this anymore.
No, no,
I
these
don't
were
wanna be
adults.
a-
These were the adults.
I don't. That's fine. This is just gross. Somebody's parents
find
are
out-
listening, and they're gonna discover that their mom was out getting
no. You
banged
find
out by
out
the pro shop guy.
No,
that's
yeah,
not
it is
nice.
weird when like a member gets a limo to go to the east side and brings two cart girls with him.
I feel
You mean
like,
to tell me
man,
Travis didn't see the lifeguard getting banged by a member who was a friend of her dad in the locker room at his first
Sweet
job?
mercy of God! Excuse me.
That's from the Black Sheep.
Can you reread that for me, just so I can
You
be
mean
very
to tell
clear?
me Travis didn't see the lifeguard being banged by a member who was a friend of her dad in the locker room at his first job?
Jesus, Jesus!
You mean to tell me that for extra hours you didn't? So they tried to turn the upstairs into like a hotspot karaoke live music thing. I remember being 16 and being told to bounce an adult couple that was sleeping, that was in the stall of the upstairs restaurant.
What is
Yeah.
happening at golf courses
because-
across America?
Yeah.
Just because I'm bigger than them, I'm 16.
People are running brothels out of golf courses?
No, people are just stupid.
Yeah, it gets a.
You don't think about it at the time because you're not like again. I
You
didn't,
don't
I
look,
didn't even drink.
I'm young then. I don't know.
I was just like, well, sure, yeah. Why wouldn't
Here-
I'm making?
here's-
I'm making $8 an hour. What was minimum wage back then?
My dad told me to get a job. I had to get a job. Okay.
Disturbing. So disturbing. So
The
So
best
what am I
thing ever-
supposed to do?
The best prank ever was.
And actually, it was nice. I will say this: it was nice at that age to be able to save your check and just spend your tip money.
yeah.
That was nice.
yeah, I remember those.
You're able to put away some money then,
I remember.
So
and then just go out and spend all your tip money with on beer because you have a fake ID
Right.
and playing Golden Tee
see, I didn't even do that. So
on the wharf.
I would bring trash bags of beer from like the St. Gabe's tournament because they would be sponsored by Anheuser-Busch, and they would just have cases of beer. Woo! driving around crazy that lasts all day, and they would literally be handing it to us. We would walk out with trash bags, show up to a party, $1 a beer.
I do have to think.
How many
the
were
golf
these people?
course-
How many of the people at these golf courses were sheriffs,
Probably.
government officials,
Probably.
prominent business?
Oh wait,
Oh,
I got one.
owners.
prominent
I got
business.
a government tie-in for you. You mean to tell me Trav didn't see one statewide candidate bang a beer girl on the 18th green?
Society's kind of weird, Travis.
Because these are the people who later go on in life and judge other people for the things that they do.
Yes.
That's why I'm mystified.
be
Because I don't think what
How about some?
what
how
you're
about some
describing.
How about back to wacky?
Hold on, you
hijinks?
guys aren't
Let's get away from the
describing
illegal.
My thing is you guys aren't describing anything that
Go back to
isn't-
wacky.
Chris is wondering if he's walking into a blurry territory.
He's
here.
already-
What have I said?
Personally, clean as a whistle. I was a little,
Yeah.
I was a little bitch.
Well, what Chris has done, he just realized now he's going to get 14 DMs from people who live in Farmington
Like,
who
hey,
happen to
bro,
listen to the
hey,
show.
that's
who
still
now
touchy
want to start
subject around the house.
Hey, man, be careful, man. The wife still don't know about that weekend, dog. I need you to chill out.
No, how about wacky? How about wacky?
But
The
I'm just
best
saying,
thing ever-
I don't think what you guys are describing, and there's nothing wrong with this behavior in
No,
the
there
sense
is.
that,
No.
yeah, well, it's
bad.
immoral and probably
Yeah,
illegal, but
you-
I'm not judging
no.
that aspect. I'm judging that now
It's
those
good.
people
It's-
who did those immoral and illegal things will now go on in life
Yeah.
and judge others for the immoral and illegal things that they
here's
do.
the thing: they
Some
were
were
already
fired
doing
and-
that. They were
yeah.
already at that level. What it teaches maybe people like Chris and I is like, ooh, this is supposed to be a nice lifestyle and all that. But you know what? This looks like
Yeah.
something I don't want to be.
That
a part of.
that guy in his 40s
I
doesn't
like playing
quite have
golf.
it together like you think he does.
Yeah, I like playing golf. I have no desire to be involved in anything of those.
No.
sorts.
Okay, so the wacky
So maybe
part-
it's good we saw that at a young
Okay.
age.
maybe
Okay.
so. Yeah, kept us away from it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah, I want no part of that.
we had marshals, right?
Yeah.
So typically, do you know what a marshal is, Travis? I'm not even.
They're
I wouldn't have known. had I-
clothing stores.
Yes,
Very nice.
exactly.
They are, yeah.
They exist. They're very affordable clothing for
Mm-hmm.
middle class Americans.
Yeah.
The marshals are old men volunteers
Oh.
that enforce rules for free golf.
Just
Basically,
basically making sure you get off on your tee time at the right time.
essentially that.
Come on, speed it up.
And hey, too close to the green.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
On the path.
Okay.
Yeah, but we had a marshal take something very serious. The pro at the time was a very funny guy who I still love. He he called in a report. I was attacked by a deer on hole 11. And the marshal took it serious. Oh! And he sped out to save the man. I was attacked by a deer on hole 11. It was the best thing I'd ever seen in my life, and there's some wacky hijinks.
So there
for
was
it.
no deer.
No, there were. It was possible there could be deer in the area.
And the guy.
Oh! Tell him I'm coming. All right, dude.
They pay him enough for him to be that excited to
Didn't
go
get
save.
paid. He was an
Okay.
unpaid. We get free
Oh.
golf.
We used to put like dish soap in each other's drinks all the time.
What is? What?
How many hot dogs and 44
I
ounce?
ask- but you know
how
what?
many hot
We're-
dogs and 44-ounce sodas did you do? There is no fucking way.
No, let's
in
get to
the
the bottom
years
of
that I
this.
worked there, there's no way whatever they were paying me they lost in what I ate in hot dogs and 44-ounce sodas. I mean, you lived off of root beer.
I did notice this, and this is a thing, and you guys specifically, when you do pranks, why do you do pranks that harm people? What is it about your culture that says, you know what, it'd be funny
Drinking
if I
soap
sent
don't harm no
someone
one?
to the hospital? Why
It's not gonna-
why is
what-
your culture's pranks always involving someone getting hurt or arrested?
How is
Why can't you guys do normal
putting
pranks?
dish soap in your drink?
Like, I don't. Why would
doesn't
why would you
harm-
put dish soap? That's nasty and gross.
That's
It could-
exactly. It's just
somebody can
nasty
get
and
sick.
gross.
We were good to each
I'm
other
not
when
gonna
we
get-
saw
You
the
can get
when we
it's
saw
soap.
when we saw the 45-year-old probably mentally disabled man out
Oh, no.
out not
I
on,
might have
on-
to
at
bail.
work.
I might have to bail.
Eat shit.
Oh boy.
I mean, that is where it originated.
Your pranks seem mean. I think pranks are supposed to be funny, not mean. Soap and drink. That's
funny.
mean, man.
Pretty funny.
Why is that funny to put soap in somebody's expensive drink?
Or
It's not expensive.
or the thing where you get the new cart guy and you're showing him and you're just like, you drive through and you're like, hey, let's go. You see that ball in the fairway? There's no ball. But you're like, yeah, you go, and then you're in the middle, you get a wide open space, and then you're like, oh, here, lean over, grab it so I don't have to stop. And then when he leans over to grab it, you kick him in the ass and cut it real hard. And he bails out into the fairway.
Or maybe
Good
there's
times had by all.
maybe there's a member you don't like, and you've set their bag up, and you can kind of mess with their head because you don't remember things a lot of times. You have a routine, right? So, as they're getting ready to drive away, you just kind of unstrap their bag and pull it
the
out.
unstrapping
so
of the
their
bag,
bag
yeah.
falls all off onto the concrete and everything.
Mhm.
And then they think, oh, I thought I strapped it. Oh, I guess not. It's stuff like that. Or here's how I knew where I was working the first day. A friend of mine, Tom, was kind of showing me the ropes. And I had 2 friends working there already. And so Tom's kind of showing me things. He's like, just always look busy. And as he's trying to, as he's,
So
The,
true.
the ultimate training advice.
he's like, it doesn't matter what you just try to look. And as he's doing this, we're not doing anything.
Right.
He's just, and then the boss comes walking through the bag room to where we are.
Uh-huh.
And Tom looks around and just grabs the vacuum cleaner and starts vacuuming the concrete. He's like, "What's up, boss?" So he's like, "See, just always look busy." So I was like, I'm like, "Oh,
This will be a pretty easy job.
yeah." I mean, I enjoyed my time there.
Right.
It was not, we discussed some of the things we've seen. Those aren't the greatest things, but I had fun. I think working at a golf course for teaching me to be such a great parallel parker, actually.
How about Tom Brown? I'm laughing because I'm like, oh, God. White kids are the worst. At my friend's 13th birthday party, my friends threw a handful of pepper in my eyes and it hurt. Fuck them.
I don't understand your humor. I don't understand it.
Our friend Kelvin in
I don't know
California.
Why is pain funny?
Our friend Kelvin in California. Haha, set you up for a capital crime. Got you good.
No, and look, we were teenagers. Like, I was an asshole, most certainly then.
Definitely.
I think that's how a lot of kids are.
Got an eat
I
shit,
think.
Travis,
I
from
don't
Bill.
know.
That's nice. Tell Bill I said hello.
I said hello, too.
Yeah, I don't know. We did pranks as kids. The objective
Yeah,
was to be
shooting
funny.
each other. Right?
Oh.
Is that not
Oh.
a thing?
Travis is trying to figure out how to respond to
Yeah.
this one right
He's
now.
trying to understand. He's like, was that racist, rude?
I think all of
Does
the
he
above.
bring up? Does he bring
All
up
of the
all
above.
the? Does he bring up all the ethnicities of the recent mass shooters as a counter? How does this work?
I will not respond. You see, in New York, I didn't have
Nice.
time to
That is a good
respond to
response.
such people like that.
That is
so
a good response.
That's not what we're going to do here.
I was talking about when he was at the white schools, by the way. See,
I can't keep track.
covered. Yeah, he went to quite a few.
They were all white.
So then you can't be offended by what I said.
Oh, I can. I still have white friends, a couple.
No one in the room. No one in this room.
I don't have white friends, guys. It's not a thing.
What are their names?
Yeah.
Ted.
He could just say Chris.
Both of them are named Ted?
You could have said Chris, and that would have worked.
Ted and Mister.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Ted and
Do you remember yesterday?
Danson.
Do you remember yesterday
Ted
when
and
when
Exactly
Travis
what
was real weird about that Loop Trolley show until Yale offered him the spot on it?
it wasn't weird. I was literally promoting it and said it was a brilliant idea.
Gardner, do you remember that?
That did not happen. I did not hate.
It was.
I was
There was a
incredibly
tension, but-
supportive.
I seem to recall that.
I feel like there's a filter in the air that every time Travis says something positive about people, that it immediately comes out as negative. What have you guys done to my microphone? What have you done to me? What have you done to my brand?
We just wonder what you're up to then.
Sorry.
I'm not up to anything.
Sorry.
I spent an entire week
said-
complimenting Chris and his beautiful hair, and I got yelled at.
Yeah.
He just said his brand.
Oh.
Did you hear that,
Oh,
Gardner?
we all have one.
What is your
Everyone
brand?
Yeah.
has
What's your brand statement?
What's my brand statement?
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Camera 4.
That's you don't want camera 4.
Let's say it's camera.
Camera 4 is
that what
mine.
upstairs? Not the upstairs. Oh, hey.
Travis Terrell, your brand statement.
I am black. The end.
Oh,
That's it. That's the
Wow.
brand. That's the brand. That's all I
I
got.
thought you were gonna go and
Right,
proud
nope,
or
I
something
got.
like that.
I won't even go say proud. Proud would mean I'm accomplished.
You know,
What?
your
Successful.
Twitter has gotten a little difficult to read lately
Has it?
because
I think he's blocked me.
It's because you're responding to other GIFs with more GIFs, and like they're stacked on top
So
of
I'm
each
double
other.
jiffing you
And it's kind of hard to like.
to follow along.
Well, like especially when it says I have to click to view your GIF because of how you've responded to whatever. It's like it's actually logistically hard to read now sometimes.
Okay. I see
Maybe
what you're
that's
saying.
Twitter itself.
I think that
the
may
new
be, I
setup.
think that may just be the new setup. I think the best thing they've done is that now you can retweet or quote tweet tweets with gifs.
See, I don't know about that.
I love that.
It just makes it more difficult
It
to
does.
figure out where you're
It
looking.
does, but it's like a book. It's like you
What's
look
it-
at the pictures
But
and then
now
you
I'm
read
more
the words.
likely to just pass that up now because I'm like, I don't feel like dealing with this.
Just to
It's
get
just,
out
it's
ahead
just
of
a
it.
click. It's not much. You worked at a Kids Gap. I'm sure you have some
Kids
patience.
Gap, Baby Gap.
Okay.
Just to get out ahead of it. How do you feel about white people using black emojis or black
Do you?
gifs?
Do you? That's fine.
No, that's the next thing to go.
No, I think I do you. It's
Mm-hmm.
fine. If it keeps you guys away from wanting to say the N word, then we're okay with it.
I just want that 30%
Yeah, we
laugh
know,
increase.
we know you want that little nitrous boost, that Negro
Oh yeah,
boost,
the N button.
the N button,
In boost.
the N boost. No, do what you do on Twitter. Just
No, I
know
don't.
that you're
I
not-
don't. In preparation for that's going to be the next thing that they try and nail people on.
No, I think
If they aren't already.
I think everybody's pretty much. I think if anything, I think more recent events from certain individuals in the public eye have made it have put things into context. So things like emojis and what you say on Twitter and the grand scheme, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I just
Whoa,
think
did you
that's
say Twitter's not a big deal?
not necessarily the best way to communicate.
Right.
That's all I've said over time.
You also call emojis hieroglyphics.
That's
They-
what
they-
I'm
they
saying.
are.
Is
They
that it's
are.
kind of a regression in communication.
It is very much so.
But
But there's nothing else left to say if you think about it. We've said everything about everything. There isn't anything new under the sun
No,
to be
but
said
that's
about
not-
anything.
that's
Well,
not key.
humanity should just walk into the
Part of-
sunset
I
and
wouldn't.
give up on
Yeah.
everything.
or if they were that close.
Yeah, we're getting there. Couple hundred years maybe.
Oh, I
it's
got
just
a good comment here.
you need that communication on a personal level to connect. That's what I'm saying.
So, like, posting pictures of you and Josh Hawley on a T-shirt is the way to connect.
Interesting. This is
no,
not
that's
bad.
just a way to promote.
Yeah, that's smart.
Did you guys see the Senator Flatbed
Like
T-shirt yesterday?
yeah.
It's very nice.
Uh,
It's very nice.
I got an eye roll at the local watering hole.
Good.
And I
Good.
smirked and smiled.
Good.
on my way.
And you
like
should.
it's pulled from a quote. What are they mad about?
Yeah.
Come on, cowboy. What you
That-
got?
That's to that point.
You think he has other people wears cowboy boots to scuff them up for him?
Yeah.
No doubt.
Good point.
No doubt.
Good point.
No doubt.
He's like the guy that's never been on a
He's
horse.
like, how do you roll your sleeves up so it
He's-
makes it look like I'm doing work?
He
He's
probably had
never
them
been on a horse,
sewn
but he
that way.
shows up to a Florida Georgia Line concert
Yes.
looking like he's like George Strait's cousin.
But that works. But that works here in this state. Like the
Obviously.
the phonier you are, the
a
bigger.
Jewish dude from West County, St. Louis, all he had to do was go.
That's it.
It's an automatic right.
That's it.
And he was on his way to the presidency.
He was literally.
and he
on his
literally
way-
used to be buddies with Obama.
Eric Greitens is a conservative
say
warrior,
buddies.
and when he fights back, he brings out the
They were
big
cool.
guns.
They were cool.
Hey man, because I invited you
Should
to
I
a
just
dinner.
say? Should I say a former Democrat from West County?
Would you consider
who the people he was marketing to probably would side eye him if they heard he was an evil Jew? Like
If
if that wasn't the greatest case of just tomfoolery ever.
you went to a party with Tommy, do you consider Tommy your boy?
Yeah.
Nah, you're a son of a bitch of a liar.
Black Sheep doesn't use black gifts because he's afraid his tweets will get pulled over.
Smart.
That's the black experience.
Your profile.
Missouri loves fake ass BS and their politicians. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
isn't Holly just playing that? Isn't he playing the fake role? And listen, if that's who he was, that would be
No.
something.
He's just an empty person. I
Yeah.
think.
I
just
I
playing
don't.
to whatever.
But I think it's to the comment that we saw.
I don't
recently
think he's
from the-
completely dumb.
No.
I just think that he's just
prop?
got no clue.
He's a prop, or does he? Or is he being told? I'm always curious. Like, who are the people feeding that info?
We
It'd be
are.
like,
We are the people.
No.
I think I think the
We
reason why
are
Josh
the
Hawley
world.
behaves the way that he does because he knows simpletons in Missouri won't go past his words. They won't research what he's saying.
When
they
he's
won't
upset
Google.
about social liberation,
Right.
and upset about helping the wealthy and well-educated
Right.
counterparts
Right.
of his, when
He knows the
went
language.
to
He knows.
Rutgers,
He knows the.
Stanford, and
Right, right.
Yale,
But they're
and
not-
couldn't wait to get the fuck out of Columbia and Jefferson City,
Right.
to move to D.C.
That's the same guy that went to the same dinner parties. The guy who went to the same dinner parties as
Maybe
Elizabeth
he's not
Warren.
that dumb. You're fucking dumb. to
No,
vote for
no,
him.
no. Exactly. There it is. Gardner hit the nail on the head. Josh Hawley went to the same dinner parties as Barack Obama and
Well, this
Elizabeth
is-
Warren. Don't.
This is why you
are you
shouldn't-
kidding me?
This is why you shouldn't invest too hard. And look, I'm not.
I don't
saying-
think. I don't even think people at this point even invested. I think
No,
people at this
I'm saying
point are
invest
just.
too hard in political characters.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they and I'm
You'll be-
not
you'll
doing
be
the both
disappointed
sides
every time.
thing.
Invest
I'm not
in
doing the both
ideas,
sides
not
thing.
people.
but invest
But-
in ideas instead of
Yeah,
people,
the
instead of
same-
especially just simple rhetoric. And I
The
think
same
easier
people in
that way.
California,
Right.
the same people do it in California and scream about we aren't doing enough or whatever, and they're the first people to take a jet to another city that'll give them a tax break for their business. You know what I mean? Like,
I think Josh Hawley. I think he knows the language now, and I think it's
Well,
it's
obviously,
and
he
he
does
like
not
he,
like cosmopolitans.
and why
found
would
out.
any
Doesn't
politician
like diversity.
Which when he said cosmopolitan, I was like, man, that is good ass ice cream. That is some fine ass. Why does he hate the pink, the vanilla, and chocolate?
I don't think it's that.
It's not
Neapolitan.
that bad. Oh, it's Neapolitan.
Neapolitan.
That's not cosmopolitan. I didn't.
I wish you are talented enough. That could have been a bit, but I really think you thought it was a
I thought
cosmopolitan
it was
ice cream.
so. It wasn't.
I really am worried about you.
I didn't. It's
I'm the one with the CTE, but
I'm just
you're
saying.
showing
Oh,
signs.
it's not Neapolitan.
Melodica. Do you ever worry that maybe we're a little too inside?
Sometimes. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Melodica's an
That picture
all
was,
timer.
it was right in front of me. So
It's
I
an
was like,
all-timer.
okay, whatever.
But
I told people about that at the bar yesterday. I told my lawyer about Melodica, and he couldn't stop laughing. And then-
Was it the black one that came in
And
at
then
one time
someone
and
asked me what I
ordered
was
water and
talking about,
peanuts because
and
he was
I-
afraid to drink our alcohol?
and I explained it to them, and then I had to go on and explain pillow sheets.
Did you at least explain to
cow
them that
houses,
before I even got to Melodica,
bath
I was
bombs.
describing it as doop 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 doop.
I didn't even get the boopa
Okay.
doopa doopa doopa.
That's
At
how
least
I-
at least you weren't calling our guest by the wrong name. It's Katara. I was saying Katara every time, and yeah. So shout out to Katara.
Oh, we saw her yesterday.
Yeah.
I told her I'd
For
scat
mental health
at her
matters.
later
Yeah, Gardner, real cute.
as she was leaving.
There's a new chicken sandwich coming to town.
Oh yeah,
That's right, and it's spicy.
I like it when it's spicy, baby.
Uh-huh.
What is this spicy chicken sandwich called?
I don't know. It's a chicken sandwich.
Oh.
It's at Popeyes.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It's a big day.
Popeyes.
Thank
They're
you.
taking aim. They're taking aim at Chick-fil-A.
I like this play. That's a good ass looking sandwich. I ain't gonna even lie. Our brother about to head down the street.
Looks crispy.
It does look very crispy, which means it does not
Who
look
hates
anything like that.
Who
at
hates
Popeyes.
who hates homosexuality more? Popeyes customers or Chick-fil-A customers? Go. This is the battle we've been waiting for.
Gardner? I think you have your poll question. 'Cause I'll be honest. this is
You
gonna-
didn't even think.
this is
Usually he's quick to just, hey, leave us out of this.
No.
He ain't stepping up.
When
to
it comes,
this one.
look, I've been very vocal about this and very honest when it
Can
comes
we
to
post
this.
that poll question?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can. Yes, we can.
Who
Look,
hates homosexuality more? Chick-fil-A
customers
consumers,
or Popeyes.
or do we
That's-
say management?
No.
Look,
gotta
Keep
go
it- no,
consumers.
go
Look,
with the
I
customers.
I will be honest. I had Chick-fil-A yesterday,
Yeah,
and I try not to politicize my food
that's a brilliant way
because
of.
I need it to live. And I like the Chick-fil-A sauce.
That's a good question. Who's more? The question is, here's the question: who's more homophobic, white evangelicals or African American community?
Well, that's what we're getting at.
That's what.
mean,
Yeah,
that's-
that's the question.
yeah.
So that's the beauty of it being designed behind
Yes,
Chick-fil-A and Popeyes.
I like it.
I say absolutely post that poll. No way that's controversial.
I'm gonna post it at the break.
African Americans will
Well, you've
easily
explained this to me.
acknowledge. And look, we've talked about it on this show before, and I'm not making excuses for my community, nor am I defending their behavior or excusing it. But it is all but understood that African Americans are very traditionally have been very homophobic. Now there may be a
It all
generational
circles-
gap,
But it
between,
also circles back to there's still one root cause of it, and a lot of black people are super Christian.
Yeah, it still comes back to the common denominator of the
same thing.
church.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
think
there
you
are a
can
lot
do
of
that
people.
for a lot of
It's
issues.
But you can do that for a lot of
For
things.
sure.
That is very correct.
You guys want to fake?
You are correct, sir.
You ever heard of the Crusades?
Do you guys want a fake cowboy update?
Yes, please.
An unknown person has messaged me this. He went on a turkey hunt, in quotes, with several politicians. Turkeys were essentially corralled and dropped off in front of the party, waiting with their guns and a guide. Chris Coaster shot one within 5 minutes and then had a truck come pick him up, took the hunting picture, and then dipped for coffee, and then complained about the Wi-Fi strength at the lodge.
That's why he didn't win the
That's
governorship.
from our We Are Live informant.
I think that is, but that is, I think, again, we talk about this.
How,
Oh,
ama-
that
how
visual.
amazing is that? That's
That visual.
Who directs that movie with that happening? Is that that's not Coen Brothers, is it? I mean, I'm trying to think. It's almost
That
like
could be an
mockumentary
any-
style.
Yeah, but that could be. I mean, are you doing it like Christopher Guest type deal or what?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the way you do it.
Sorry, Travis. That visual was striking. to
No,
me.
as it would be for anyone. That is very. I think, and look, we're even seeing it with Steve Stanger. I think Steve Stanger's situation,
Sentencing today.
sentencing.
Oh, are
this
you gonna go
today.
ask him?
I probably won't get over there.
But I think
Maybe I'll tweet something.
I think
out.
that sentence, and we posted it a few times already on the show. We read it yesterday with Doyle Murphy here in studio, and I think that is where, no matter where you are, as what your political affiliations are, when you see that statement, that's where you begin, where you have to start to look in as a voter. If you're going to vote, if you're going to participate in this process, let's get serious about it. And for a guy like Stenger to behave in this manner post-duly lets me know that it isn't just the individual. It's not just the politician. It's the culture that exists. It's the people that make the culture. We are allowing that to happen, right? Like we made
In
Steve
some way,
Stenger. I mean,
yeah.
in some way, not saying that's completely on our shoulders, but in some way we have allowed the Steve
Well-
Stingers of
we
the
wouldn't
world
have
to
chipped away.
exist.
I would have been supporting him for whatever that Better Together was. Was it Better Together? Or?
Yeah, better together, Steele.
I wanted their core values to go through. I didn't know the details, but I was like, no, they're pushing it along, and they have a billionaire behind them.
There was a
You know what I mean?
there was a sign that there was going to be issues.
At a certain point,
Right.
I would
Well,
have
I
1,000,000%
I would
been on
say
their side to a
immediately,
degree.
just because Rex Sinkfeld was involved.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that what
Red
you
flag
what
should
you
have been
first do,
foremost
and then when you
focus,
see
though.
it for that, when you see that for me is, okay, what's he up to? It's kind of Travis being nice. What's he up to?
That's fair.
So when I hear
That's
that
fair.
name's involved, it's basically, how is he trying to get rid of the 1% tax in the city
Right.
of St. Louis? Because that's what he's all about. So that threw up a red flag to me. But Stinger itself, like as in terms of creating him, yeah, sure, in some way. Here's a problem, and this is a problem I think for Democrats.
Right.
Is and I've said this before. You want you want government to work for you, right?
Right.
There are a lot of people that I know that are Republican are just against government, right?
Right.
If I simplify some of
Sure.
their beliefs.
No,
Like,
yeah, I think that's the general
I have
underlying
friends that are
theme.
Republican that aren't religious, that aren't
Right.
they
the underlying
don't
thing
like
is
all
that they don't like the government
They know they're
having.
attached to that.
Yes.
But they're like, I just don't want this.
Right.
And so, but Democrat wants a government to kind of guide some things,
Yes.
kind of tell you what to do in ways. There's regulation involved,
Right.
right? So you want the key is to make government work for you, not for it to be dominating.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
When you see stuff like this happen, you increasingly have a harder time, especially with people that would be considered middle of the road,
Right.
to sell them the idea of make government work for you.
Sure.
Because what it also takes is your attention constantly. You have to be on top of it, or else it will take. Because, like, with certain things with government, there are certain things that are idealistic. Like, people get into socialism a lot these days. Like, some of it sounds like a nice idea, right? But what it relies on too is like people being good and decent constantly to make it work.
I mean, that's
the
kind of.
correct
I
way.
mean, that's the overall theme of democracy.
Right,
As well.
but is that the question becomes, all it takes is one person who's not decent to
Right.
completely fuck that all
Yes.
up, to fuck anything up
But-
like that.
but
so I don't know that you can rely on that being part of the equation. that's why there has to be oversight upon oversight upon oversight, which is why the press is very intricate
Yes.
and much needed
Right.
in terms of even oversighting those oversights.
Right.
So like there's a lot of things involved. So when you have so many of those kind of things involved and you have something like this go down, especially when you want people to trust government, it's hard for people to do that.
But I think this conversation, like the conversation about Steve Stenger, isn't new. A lot of people brought up these conversations about Steve Stenger and his past and his ties to certain businesses and how
Yeah.
he was going to potentially help those businesses who supported his campaign once he was to be elected. That conversation took place years ago. And so the same even with this current president. The conversation about this president when it comes to race and certain social issues, that conversation has been going for a long time. At the end of the day, it's still incumbent upon the people to allow these individuals to hold this type of sway and power.
But
and
this is what I'm saying.
It speaks to. I think it speaks to
How many
more-
people vote? What percentage of people vote?
Very true as well. And
Now, I will say this. There's a reason voter suppression is a strategy by the
Yes.
GOP.
Yes,
There's a reason that is I mean, it is. It's
Yes.
a actual strategy.
it is a strategy.
And gerrymandering will happen in Democratic. It'll happen in Illinois. I know
Right.
there's issues in Maryland, I think, too, with it from the Democratic side. But we know why it happens.
I
understand there's a voter suppression issue. Obviously, I do. But to use government properly, you have to be able to hold it accountable. And there, quite frankly, aren't enough of us involved in that process.
Yes, there it is.
We've gotten lazy.
We've gotten very
We have
lazy.
gotten
We
very
as the
lazy.
as
To that-
citizens, we are lazy as citizens.
To that point, is one person, and
And I'm not
delete the name Steve Stenger from the deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is one person that is of mild intelligence surprised at how a person in this position has played out? Like, this isn't, we're not, what was the movie where everything, Pleasantville, wasn't that a movie?
Mm-hmm.
We're not Pleasantville and all of a sudden somebody's titties are out. Like, this is so normal and so, we talk about it and it's goofy, but no one's appalled. No one's saying, like, how could this happen? It's so common that this is actually what I expect of a lot of people
I think
in
people,
those positions.
I would
I
expect
think-
of it to this extent.
I think people, but I think people
I mean,
are.
maybe he's unique,
But
I don't
think
think
people
he's
are-
that I don't think he's that unique.
But I think this is. I'm glad you're honest about that, though, Chris, because that's the challenge, then, especially for Democrats. If someone says,
Correct.
"This is what I expect from someone," they're so jaded in that way.
Yeah.
How do you get them to be involved then? Like, how I mean, or care?
I think
is the thing.
I think asking more of
Because
our.
you have to be honest.
He was repping what I wanted.
But I think asking more. I think there are certain questions that and there are certain questions that are raised about politicians. So we're going to see them raised about every candidate, of course, in the Democratic Party who are running for president. We heard those same
What a
questions
list.
about the president. I'm saying is we can't go, oh my God, this president is grifting when you've been given years of documented evidence of a grifting person. Same with Stenger. When the questions were being raised about his ties to certain businesses, they were raised for a reason. As citizens, we should ask, hey, we need to guard against you having the ability to hook up your homies. What can we do as citizens to make sure, even when you get into office, say, I do
Sure would
trust
be
your
nice.
agenda. I trust your agenda, but I want to make sure you're not hooking people up, going behind our backs.
Yeah.
I think that's something we as citizens have to start demanding of
Well,
the
our
system.
government- here's the thing,
Or our
our-
government's going to continue to
but
go.
it's not helping. It's not. They're fighting against us, especially in this state.
All right.
We brought it up with Chris Davis. Like the way that information is shared, which should be public information, the government is constantly fighting the press against releasing information.
Yes.
That should be. We have Josh Hawley. We have Eric Greitens using the Confide app.
Right.
We have some dumbass judge saying that, oh yeah, this wasn't illegal because the information was destroyed right away,
Right.
so it couldn't have been redistributed.
Right.
What the fuck does that even
Right,
mean?
right.
Are you serious?
Right.
This is what you're up against as so like
Good luck untangling all
like
that.
government, especially in this state, is working against the people. That's
Very
what
true.
it is doing.
Very true.
And you can elaborate even more by saying we voted for things.
Yes.
Clean Missouri.
Yes.
We voted for a lot of things
Yes.
that passed by 60%.
Yes.
And then you try to redo it.
Yes.
You're
Like,
trying to read,
and
or
that
even with the Title IX stuff, you have a guy whose son gets caught up in a Title IX thing and then wants to redo how that is
Yes.
adjudicated
Yes.
within the state by putting his fucking wife on a board or a committee that would decide part of it.
And then that's
a panel.
And that's when
like this is what you're up against.
And then this is all. And then
and you want me to vote Democrat and trust in government? What am I supposed to do? I'm conflicted, Travis.
But then here I go. You can't then have that same argument, and then the people who voted these individuals into office play, oh, it wasn't me. This is how it works. You are just as accountable as that politician. You know the information. There are certain things that a lot of citizens are very well aware of who have chosen to ignore, willfully be ignorant towards certain issues. People were fine with the president's rhetoric as long as they got their judges. People were fine with the president's rhetoric as long as they got their tax cuts. People are willing to compromise themselves just to get what they want. And then they turn around and ask themselves the question, why is this country screwed up? I think we have to look at ourselves first before. I'm happy to go after Trump. I'm happy to go after these politicians. But I think at some point we have to start looking at ourselves and our communities and deciding what are we going to do.
Here's what I would say. It's tough to get a message across when it comes across as preaching or self-righteous at times.
Certainly.
You just set yourself up for failure because no one.
Especially when it's coming from certain individuals.
The problem is too. Even if it's the truth. Like, if you're preaching,
I can agree with you
preaching that you have to be involved to a disinterested voter, you're right.
Right.
But if you're preachy about it and self-righteous, they're not going to listen. So there's a conflict there in terms of.
But how else?
I do have a solution.
But my
Travis already said it.
So the question is, how do you communicate?
Right.
Without coming across as condescending
Certainly.
or something along those lines. Because the thing is this, you're right. You are right.
Right.
Like you're born into this country, you probably have a responsibility to be involved in the democracy.
Absolutely.
Like that should be there's a reason that a national election should probably be a holiday.
Yes.
And that people should be bussed in
Yes.
to vote. That you should encourage people to vote. That that should be something that is done as a community on those, especially those national elections. Mm-hmm. You should be embraced by that. You should almost be required to do so.
Right.
Instead, seems like more and more we're trying not to.
Right. Agreed.
That's an issue.
Travis, you said it, and maybe we didn't realize you said it, but you're saying get your communities involved and stuff. That's how you fix this. To a degree, you start small, and you turn to your neighbors, you turn to your neighborhood, you turn to your district, whatever else. I mean, that to me is the first and most impactful way. I'm not saying ignore everything else, but to a degree, turn to the people in a 3-mile radius or 3-block radius and get to work on that. I'm serious. I don't know how else to do it.
I think demanding transparency is important. Look, you're running for public office. I deserve to know everything about you.
Yeah.
I must, before you can put your name on a ballot, or don't run. Or don't run. If you want to keep certain parts of your life private, fine. But when you run for public office, I, as a voter, deserve every right to understand where you come from, who your business ties are, so I can understand your motivation behind the agenda that you're going to set. I'm sorry. And I disagree with what Governor Newsom is currently doing in California because I believe it is unconstitutional.
What's he doing?
As far as requiring candidates to release.
I don't know.
But the fact of the matter is, I understand
the president's tax returns have to be released.
But a president's tax returns needs to be apparent. We need to know. I look, if you have a business dealing with a porn site, so be it. If you have connections to people, it's fine. Yeah. You can maybe explain that away. But I need to know. Because you can't tell me in a post-Watergate world that we're just okay with electing a president without knowing his financial ties. That's silly to me. And I know it's silly. And this is when I say we're going against the grain. We're going against ourselves. We would not have allowed any other candidate to get away with it. None. Never in the history.
Why is he so special?
That is the question. Why is this particular candidate special? Why is this particular president allowed to do something that we have not allowed any other candidate to do in the last 30, 40 years in this country? So that's where we have to get to the root of. Again, I'm not mad at Trump for playing the game to the point he's playing within.
No, you should be though.
I am, but he's a symptom.
You can't allow it.
But I'm not saying you should allow it. I'm saying he's just a symptom. He is just a small bit in something that's bigger than him. Donald Trump speaks to a culture. He doesn't speak to the world of just Trump. There's a reason why people are gravitating towards this type of rhetoric, whether it's from Hawley, whether it's from Stenger, whether it's from Trump. There's a reason why people are motivated to listen to this rhetoric. And I think once we get to the root cause of that, then we can start having an honest conversation. But you can't sit up
And then
here
we
and
can
say,
finally-
I would have chastised President Obama if he never released his tax returns, and then you turn around and elect an individual who didn't release them at all.
Well, that's because he's black.
There we go. Finally, we got to the bottom of it, and I didn't even have to say it.
And then we can finally answer the
That's
question,
racist
too.
as hell.
No, it's a good setup.
What video games was Steve Stenger
That's the
playing
most important thing.
I
when he
kind of
went
just
to
want
go into work?
I don't know how we don't just jump right into make it racist right now. I mean, your little cigarette habit, buddy.
How about this? You smoke
joking.
while in the building. I'm sure that's not. Look, we've already talked about illegal things we've done today, right?
Sure,
It doesn't matter.
Sure,
Let's get the
Kranzberg
party
folks will
going.
love that. Yeah.
Actually, it wouldn't even be that. It would be Facebook who's pissed off.
The who,
Yeah.
Chris?
That's where they draw
The
the
who
line.
would love it?
The Kranzberg folks.
Kranzburgers.
It's Kranzberg.
Thank you.
Oh, Kranzbergers coming to ABC Family this
New
fall.
show.
That's right, guys. We tell you.
Instead of Whataburger, Kranzberger.
Yeah, the delicious Kranzburger is good, girl. It is.
That's right.
They come with
artistic
art and jazz.
artistic support in
They got-
each sandwich.
Oh, it's an artisan bun.
Mhm.
See what I did
Oh.
there? Artisan
Son
bun. Woo!
bitch.
Good night.
Guys, feel free to hit share. We like showing this
You just got
show
here.
to everybody. Big thanks to St. Louis Counseling Services. They support us. You support them. If you run a business, maybe you have individuals that you deal with at a school. They can help. That's right. Individuals, businesses, schools, organizations, they provide counseling services in the St. Louis area. Be sure to check out the website, stlouiscounseling.org, for more information. Guys, it's Chris Denman, Travis Terrell, and Chris Gardner. We are live. We'll take a quick break. Be right back.